Well, hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Chicago. Look, the rain's holding off for now. Sun's trying to come out. What is this? Tuesday, June 25th. It was raining, storm this morning. That's minus storms came through here. Luckily, we didn't get any hail like they did in the north and northwest suburbs. So hope everybody's doing okay with those storms. But the rain's going to come back this evening. Hopefully we'll be able to make it home. But yeah, so several of my friends there notified me about Lurie, a well-known Chicago philanthropist, passed away, I think yesterday. She was 79. So in honor of her and all the money she's donated to various institutions. Hey, thanks everybody for coming in here. Krista, Dolores, Chris, thanks for tuning in. Figured we'll take a walk up to the Lurie Children's Hospital. I remember when they built that in 2012, because the original Children's Hospital was in Lincoln Park near where I lived, and they tore it down subsequently and built housing there, which we frequently go by there, the Lincoln Commons there. But we'll walk up through Streeterville. We'll go up to the Lurie Children's Hospital there. And her husband was part of that too. Her husband was a developer. I think that's where they made a lot of their family money there. She was a nurse. Lurie was a nurse. And then she was, I don't know, worked with Northwestern, donated heavily to Northwestern, was involved with Northwestern University, Northwestern Hospital. That's why I guess the Lurie Children's Hospital is located there with the Northwestern and the Women's Hospital and all that stuff. Hey, Marco, John James, Sally, Merck, Taco Jalapeno Salsa, thanks for tuning in. Robert, Michelle, yeah, they're all the way back there. Thanks everybody for tuning in here. So, yeah, the rain's holding off here, so we'll take a walk through Streeterville. Thanks everybody for joining in. Sally's tuning in from France. That's great. And bonjour. Yeah, thanks for tuning in there. People tune in from all over. The great thing about YouTube and other platforms, we all feel more connected. And thanks for tuning in for Scenes of Chicago. We'll head across the Wacker Drive here. Looks like the traffic's backing up on Michigan Avenue. I don't know if they're doing construction or what's going on here, but it's free and clear on Wacker. There's the Marina Towers there to the left of the Trump Tower, and we'll go by the Wrigley Building and the Michigan Avenue. We can see up to the John Hancock, the Tribune Tower in the foreground. Here's the Bridge House. We got about 75 to 78 degrees, maybe 78. It feels more like 80 with the humidity. Michael Anderson, how you doing there? Yeah. Good time for a walk with the lunch bunch. Yeah, thanks for tuning in here. Look, we'll check out the Chicago River here. We're crossing the DuSable Michigan Avenue Bridge. And we were talking about Lurie, Chicago philanthropist, sadly passed away, I guess yesterday. She was 79. And so yeah, not only the Lurie Children's Hospital, the Lurie Gardens, we walked through there yesterday, the tall grass prairie area. They're just southern end of Millennium Park. And she heavily donated to Northwestern University, and I'm sure I'm leaving other things out. And so left the legacy of all these things they donated to. Born and raised Chicago South Side. That's good. Chris, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in here. Sally Sprinkle. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing construction here on DuSable Michigan Avenue Bridge. It's been like this off and on for a while. We're in the season of construction here. Hey, he's taking a picture of Jean-Baptiste Point DuSable, the first non-indigenous. They call him a permanent resident. He was here until he moved to the St. Louis area across to the Louisiana Purchase. Of course, he was with the French culture here. Jean-Baptiste Point DuSable, a black man, the first non-indigenous resident in Chicago. They theorize his mom was from Haiti. They're not for sure. His father may have been mixed himself. We don't know. He had a French name. He married a Potawatomi Native American wife when he was here in Chicago. Her name was Kitty Hawa. Jay can say it better than I can. City walking girl, and she was Potawatomi. They had several children, which I think their children moved with them to Louisiana area of, well, French Louisiana, which was Spanish Louisiana, which is the whole Louisiana Purchase. So they lived in the Missouri area after they left the Chicago area in the 1790s, around 1800, we think. And records are hard to trace back then. Look at the Wrigley building. Hey, Robert Ratliff, we got some wind here. Here, let's check out the butterflies here. Let's walk through this Pioneer Plaza here. We're checking out the flight of the butterflies here. Like I said, these butterflies are all throughout the city. We first saw them in the Peggy Note of Art Nature Museum area there in Lincoln Park. Now they're spread all throughout the city, different neighborhoods. Like they got this little green outdoor seating area here, former Equitable building. There's the NBC Tower here. We'll head through Streeterville, this Pioneer Plaza, and you get wonderful views back this way. The whole skyscraper skyline of the Loop there, the Wrigley building. Hey Christopher, how you doing there? That's okay, I know you're busy with work. Thanks for popping in and out there. Everybody else, you're free to come. That's why, the good thing about YouTube, and you know it too, Christopher, is that the whole rerun gets recorded. So you can watch it at your convenience. When it's convenient for you, you don't have to watch it live. Sometimes it's good watching it live so you can interact with the comments, but not everybody's available for that, and I understand completely. TikTok, you got to cut out the rerun clips, and then you and I, Christopher's a live streamer from New York, we create these hours-long live streams, and then it becomes unmanageable on other formats. But YouTube makes it nice and easy. It's good, but it's bad because you got to make sure. I got to do corrections. Sometimes I misspeak and say things wrong, get the wrong date. I don't notice it. Sometimes my brain thinks one thing, my mouth says something else. I got to make corrections. And people find me in the comments, right? You said that wrong. I'm like, okay, thanks for paying attention. Someone was actually listening to what I was saying. I couldn't believe it. There, they got these rocks over here. Dolores, Julie, yeah, Michael, Taco. Oh, you missed the lightning at the bean. Yeah, that's why I cut that out there. It was more dramatic in real life. I mean, I think maybe I'll cut that out when I was walking across the BP bridge there across Columbus Avenue. There was a stronger bolt of lightning we caught there. I actually kind of felt it in the back of my neck when that front came through. And when we were at the bean, that was a second lightning. And then there was a third time I went back to the bean, there was lightning too. I actually saw like the streak. So we'll try to cut that out. There's the Optima. Oops, sorry. Here's the Optima signature, the Optima other one. I don't know what they call the other one. Of course, we've been in there. Brandon got us in there. We've been to the top. Nice views of the top. We've been in that transition level. We've been at the bottom there. We've been on those roof decks. Thanks to Brandon. Hopefully we'll get with Brandon soon here. Here's the food trucks. And again, I'm generally heading up towards the Lurie Children's Hospital because commemorate Ann Lurie, who just passed away here. We'll check out the Lurie Gardens again later this week. I didn't realize the sun was going to pop out. I might have went on the Riverwalk, but we can check out the Riverwalk later this week. We'll do a little cruise through Streeterville here. There you can see the multiple levels. Streets below the streets, which is really, the ground is really there. When you're here, you get the illusion that you're walking on the ground, but you're really 20, 30 feet in the air as you are on Michigan Avenue. They raised this several stages. Since the 1920s, they've been working on these. Wacker Drive has it too, Michigan, around the river. A few other streets like Illinois and up to Kinsey and this one here. So here we'll head over to, there's several ways we can go. I guess we'll go up Columbus because we've gone up St. Clair before. Actually, St. Clair is interesting. Let's check out St. Clair here, because you got that interesting view to the John Hancock. Kind of frames the whole street there. We'll look at the bottom, the red bottom here. Oops, we're getting splashed. We're getting splashed. I don't know what this metal, is that a fountain? It'd be nice if that was a fountain. I don't remember seeing that on though. Right here, what am I missing here? Yeah, how's the weather there? There's a nice dog. Well, you see, you got nice vistas back to the Prudential. See, we're north of it. We were south of it this morning when we were down in Millennium Park. Hey, that's a nice group photo with the flowers here. Yeah, we'll walk behind them here. Yeah, nice, beautiful photo there. That's great. Hey. You have a YouTube channel? Yeah, YouTube. How's it going? Hey, hello. That looks great. Great photo there. It's good. Yeah. They're taking a nice. But here's St. Clair. This is what I'm talking about. See, I think we're on Illinois at St. Clair, and you can look straight up there. Look at the John Hancock, all the housing there. We'll go by the Lurie restaurant, and we'll leave this view right here. See the streets below the streets here, which is really, this is really the ground level. So clearly you can see the illusion when you're on the raised streets. You feel like you're on the ground. Oh, Brian Really Chicago. Brian Really Chicago. B-R-I-A-N. Yeah, that's a good. There, I'll see if I can, well here, if I pull it up here, yeah, Brian Really Chicago, B-R-I-A-N. Also good, not so good. R-I-A-N, right? Yeah, and then R-E-A, you could just, R-E-A-L-L-Y. There, that's it, yeah.
Where you from?
I'm from Chicago. There's Brian Really Chicago.
I got you.
Was that it? Yeah, no, that's Bob. Bob's, let's see, Brian Really Chicago. There, that one. There's that one. That one. That's my logo right there.
Is it?
Yeah. See, I'm live right here.
Can you click us again?
Yeah. You want to see it here? Yeah. I'm just gonna walk this way. I'm gonna go up to the hospitals here. But hey, I'm Brian Really Chicago. I stream around Chicago. Are you guys in town? Or
I'm coming from Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, where are you from?
I live in Skokie.
Skokie, okay, yeah. Australia, well, hey, welcome to Chicago. What do you think of Chicago?
Thank you.
You like it? I mean, it's pretty nice, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
It's beautiful. Thanks for visiting Chicago. Hope you're having a good time. And good, subscribe. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks for saying hello. Yeah, that's great, yeah. And I'm also on TikTok, but, you know, I'm worried about TikTok going away, so I'm on YouTube as well. And thanks for saying hello. Hope you have a good time. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Check it out. You have a good day. That's great. See, they're in from Australia. They're checking out Chicago with their friend from Skokie. And they were taking a portrait, and they said hello. So we made some new friends from Australia. Hope they have a good time there. And see, look, isn't that great? Making connections. You know, I'm so shy that I should be more self-promoting here. That's good. Nice family, yeah. See, from Australia, checking out Chicago. Here, we'll go by Lurie Restaurante. Somebody was asking me, like, people always quiz me. They want to check out my skills if I actually know anything about Chicago. They're like, what's your top 3 Italian restaurants downtown, you know, specifically, instead of the neighborhoods like Little Italy or West Side or way out in Elmwood Park or something. And I said Lurie was one of my top 3. I don't know if it's the best. I'm not good with like ranking things best to worst, but you know, I can kind of group things. And you don't believe I'm shy? Well, yeah, Dolores, you know, that's why part of the reason I do this live streaming, because it helps me get out there and put myself out there, you know. And like everybody, you get jaded living in the city. You know, you just keep to yourself. I call it urban alienation, where you can live in a city of millions of people like this and not talk to anybody. The pandemic made it worse, and now we're all snapping out of it 4 years later. But I've talked to Sarah and Chris and others about it. But worldwide famous, yeah, all the way to Australia. Here we got the light here, so we'll cross, where are we at here? Grand Avenue. This is Grand Avenue in Streeterville. What time we got here? 12:18. And I did order a Brian Really Chicago hat, and I think that'll solve a lot of my problems. If you're like in that situation, yeah, I usually wear a hat when I'm walking from my hair, you know, and once I wear the Brian Really Chicago hat, I can just point to my hat, which will have my name, so I don't have to spell it out, because it's such a long name. There's Brian with an I, Brian with a Y, you know. People know what I'm talking about here. But we still streaming okay? Good, thanks for tuning in here. We're heading up St. Clair here, Streeterville, Chicago. Good, Julie, thanks for getting a shirt there. Yeah, I bought 2 shirts myself. I got a black shirt and I got a tie-dyed Brian Really Chicago shirt, and then I bought a hat, so I'm even buying my own merch. Here's the inn of Chicago. A lot of people asked about this. I don't know if it's still going on. I still see some evidence. There was a lot of the migrants were being housed in this hotel. This is not the only hotel. There's other hotels throughout the city where there's some of the migrants are being held. At least in the wintertime there was a lot more, but now I don't know if a lot of them are being forced to find other housing options. And same thing in New York City and other places here. But here, I guess we'll walk across the street here while we got the light here, and I'll walk on this side here. They'll probably look at me with the camera here because they don't know if I'm pretty empathetic to the migrant situation more than most Americans, but I know cameras are controversial, and even though this is a public street, I don't want to, you know, there's people's kids and stuff here, so I gotta respect people. And we'll just walk through here, see what it's like under the scaffolding here in the end of Chicago here. So we're headed up St. Clair here, and see, look, they're notifying people that there's a person with a camera walking through here with me, and I don't blame them because I don't know what my agenda is, but there's all kinds of people that film this stuff and put it for shock value on, and that was pretty nice there. It's just people hanging out there in front of where they're temporarily living here. And here we'll walk up St. Clair. See the St. Clair Hotel, Courtyard by Marriott. There's a lot of hotels in this area. We'll see, you got that nice, amazing view to the John Hancock straight up St. Clair here. We'll cross the street. We'll get it here. Michigan Avenue's a short block that way. Columbus is a long block that way. So we'll head over to Columbus here. We'll cross the street here. We'll get this nice view. See, if you look this way, you get to the Prudential building. There's some new housing there. There's the view looking up to the John Hancock straight up St. Clair. Hey, the Capitol Grill, got the Lions. Yeah, it's extreme times. Yeah, thanks Julie for promoting the shop there. Tire shops, you watching out for the, yeah, you gotta be careful with the tire shops. There's dangers all around. AC's your friend. Everybody's still dealing with the heat wave. Yeah, we're getting a little respite from it. I mean, even though today is probably the warmest day we're gonna have of the week, it was really hot Saturday when I got back here. Look at this. Look at this. See, you see how there used to be more residential. Streeterville was developed not as early as the other, because a lot of this was reclaimed land from the lake, and this building was probably much closer to the lake when it was built, and they kept pushing land out after the Great Chicago Fire and other things, and a lot of this stuff this way was developed later. But there's still some lower scale single residential family buildings here in Streeterville that have been converted to restaurants and other businesses here. What street is this? Ontario? No, this must be Ohio Street, because is this Ohio? Here's a police dog for when they had those police dog sculptures here, Paws Chicago. And Ann Lurie donated a lot of money to Paws. So Ann Lurie, who, you know, we're talking about, because this Chicago philanthropist with her developer husband and her, they donated so much money, so many causes here. Here's the Ron of Japan Steakhouse. I'm sorry, the Ron of Japan. I'm thinking of the Ron John Surf Shop that we saw in Cocoa Beach in Florida 2 weeks ago. But are we on Ontario or Ohio? I'll give you the name of it. This could be Erie. I think we're on, no, it's Ontario. We're on Ontario. Okay, good. So there's a loft, there's a hotel there. There's the back of the Helmignon housing on Columbus, one of the last buildings the Helmignon designed. There's Timothy O'Toole's Pubs. There's an Irish pub there. It's only open certain times of the week. And merch is listed, very good quality. Good, thanks for the feedback there. Taco Albina Salsa. Yeah, Spread Shop. Yeah, you can get it from TikTok or you can get it from YouTube. People say it's easier to access the merch from YouTube. It's usually on the side. There's a tab called Store, or usually it's at the bottom there. Here's Columbus. There's Timmy O'Toole's. Nice sports bar here. Here we got the light here, so we'll cross. This is Columbus. Well, Columbus becomes Fairbanks. It's confusing when you get up here. Here we're in Streeterville. You see all the residential towers of Streeterville. Now we're getting in the hospital land. We're getting in Northwestern Medical Center. So many hospitals connected. You see the purple colors of Northwestern. Same as the university up in Evanston. And Ann Lurie donated a lot of money to Northwestern College and the hospital. She was a nurse and got a bunch of honors from Northwestern University. Concrete Jungle, you got it. Welcome to the Concrete Jungle. If you ever, in years past, you remember ER, Chicago Hope, I think Chicago Med, I think they use a lot of these hospitals. Of course, there's also the Stroger Hospital Center. It's pretty large by the other hospitals there in the west side of town. But we're on the Streeterville side of town, north of the loop here, kind of in the downtown area. All these hospitals. See, Northwestern Medicine and Lurie donated heavily to this stuff. There's parking garages. And this is interesting. You'll see a lot of people and doctors and nurses and scrubs, and that's back to the Furniture Mart. They got this almost 2 block long, a long block area that they grow up in natural tall grass prairie, and they don't let even people walk through there. And you look how you can get on this bench. You can look right up to the Furniture Mart there. Look how nice that is. Yeah, rich hippie. Is that an oxymoron? It's like a rich socialist? I don't know. Was Jesus a rich hippie? Jesus was a poor hippie, but he was also the Son of God. So I'm talking, I'm not trying to promote any religion over the other. I'm just talking about the historical version. And, that's always interesting too. I know I'm just throwing out weird stuff here. Here, Huron, Fairbanks. So, this is one of the areas of the downtown where there's actually skywalks. I know other cities like Minneapolis and other cities like Cincinnati had skywalks. Chicago only has them in certain areas, a few blocks in the loop, and here they got skywalks. See people using them to get between the hospitals. Plenty of parking. They added some of this. You see that's housing there, and then there's the Furniture Mart there. You made a lot of loaves and fishes, yeah. The Beatitudes. Well, that's why someone made a good point, and I kind of agree with him. Even though I'm a pretty secular person, I'm always skeptical about putting the 10 Commandments in schools because of separation of church and state, and you're promoting one religion or one brand of religion over the other. But if you're going to promote, I know Christian nationalism, they're worried about America losing its historical founding as a Judeo-Christian laws, and our legal system goes back to that. I wish they would publish the Beatitudes more than the 10 Commandments, because the 10 Commandments are the Old Testament vengeful God, thou shalt not, and all that stuff, where the Beatitudes are more about empathy. And if you're gonna put anything and force young, impressionable minds to put anything in public schools, the Beatitudes or the teachings of the Buddha might be more empathetic. But, you know, that's too much to wish for, I know. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's not my... I'm just throwing it out there as a thing to react to here. But if you just tuned in here, we're really near the Lurie Children's Hospital. We'll kind of enter it from the MCA here. There's a park that connects all the way to the lake and cuts through the northern end of Streeterville. We'll have a nice view to the John Hancock. And we've gone up here before. There's an interesting fire station up here that kind of looks like the water tower. It's built out of the same castle-like style there. And yeah, we must have separation of church and state. That's why I always, every time I film a church, I remind people that I'm really a secular person, and that's where it comes to. Isn't it interesting? If you read the news today, and this is, you know, anything that Israel does now is controversial, but they're finally forcing the people that had the religious exemption, the more traditional observing members of Israel there are going to be, the men are going to be forced to be conscripted into the army, which is interesting. Finally, it took this, you know, and of course that's going to be controversial because some of Netanyahu's base comes from the more orthodox side of Israeli citizens there, which is interesting how they're going to react to this. But to me, at this point, anything that hurts Netanyahu's grip on power might be a positive thing for the whole Middle East, but that's just my opinion. I don't, again, that's the closest I'll delve into that quagmire that is the Palestinian-Israeli conflict that'll never end here. And I know there's a huge, larger than most cities, Palestinian-American population in Chicago, and that's why there's so many protests in Chicago, because we have a large American Palestinian population that lives here and has lived here for decades. And nap time. Yeah, I'm putting you to sleep here. Here, it looks like they got something going on here in front of the MCA. And here's the Ann and Robert Lurie Children's Hospital. Look how it has the overhangs. And this was the hospital that Brandon worked at. I think he's transitioning to a new job now, so I need to check in with Brandon. He's working in a different hospital now. So, but here we got Gail's Best Ever Grilled Cheese. Looks like they got some outdoor. Yeah, they got like a farmer's market going on at the MCA. I did not know this, so learn something new every day. I guess they got a farmer's market going on. It's called the Shop the MCA store. No, that's just, they're promoting the MCA store. Here we got a farmer's market. How you doing? Yeah, that'd be great. So does this go on every week, or is it every Tuesday? Every Tuesday.
Late afternoon.
That's great. Thanks. I'll check it out. Appreciate it. Here it is. Soar Farmer's Market here. So every Tuesday, in front of the MCA, they got a farmer's market. So this complements the one at Daily Plaza that they have on Thursdays. And so we'll probably, a Thursday, weather permitting, we'll go check out Daily Plaza. I could have went to Daily Plaza today, but I think they were having step dancing, which would have been nice. But every time I film the step dancing, I get a copyright infringement because they usually play, you know, popular music that YouTube will find has a copyright on it, and then I can't rebroadcast it. But here's the MCA. It's interesting. You can walk up the steps of the MCA. Look, people are eating their lunch here. Look at that. And you can sit on these little chairs here. And there's a great view to back to the Park Hyatt and the water tower. But the trees kind of obscure it, so I won't go up there. There, we'll check out this farmer's market. Yeah, more things to look at. Yeah, I know it was getting boring there walking to Streeterville as it does. Streeterville is just Streeterville. They got Stamper cheese. Get your curds. They got a line here. How you doing? Yeah, say hello to YouTube. Hey, thanks a lot. Brian Riley, Chicago. Thanks a lot. Here's Provost Bakery. Hey, they got berries and strawberries and asparagus and cucumbers and tomatoes and all kinds of potted plants, hanging baskets, geraniums, mosquito geraniums, onions. Hey, how you doing here? Look at these nice little flowers. Flower bouquets. You get a little jar. Let's see what else we got here. Gotta be grapes. Get some grapes here. Yeah. So I'm getting trapped in the line here. So freshest mushrooms and more. River Valley Ranch. Finn's Kitchen. How you doing there? Look, they got Mr. and Mrs. They got potato heads. Grass-fed beef. Yeah, get your natural organic beef here. Without the hormones. We're in front of the MCA. Hey, thanks, May. Thanks for, I think you were a member before. Thanks for rejoining there. I really appreciate it. And thanks for supporting good content. May tunes in from England, and we appreciate that. We had somebody else tuning in from France, which is great. Here's the Museum of Contemporary Art here. So, yeah, you see this farmer's market. And here, look how we get a nice view to the Anne Lurie Children's Hospital. Of course, we're sad to report that Anne Lurie recently, yesterday, passed away. So the legacy, part of her legacy is she donated a lot of money to Northwestern and the Children's Hospital and the Anne Lurie gardens there in Millennium Park. We were checking that out yesterday. If I go to the lobby here, we got 12:35, so I better start heading back. We made it up to the MCA here. And we could just, after this, we could head over to Michigan Avenue and just walk back down Michigan Avenue and get a little glimpse of the water tower, Chicago water tower. People that just tune in here on YouTube, I don't go to the water tower. I usually do go by that on TikTok. But I've been missing some comments here. Hungry for tomatoes. Hey, they got all kinds of tomatoes there. They got a nice cute dog. There, look at these tomatoes. There, is these tomatoes making you hungry here? Look at those ripe, fresh, plump tomatoes, strawberries, flowers. We got a violinist. How you doing here? It's great. Thank you. Appreciate it. So we'll try to cross the street here. And I think I should head over to the actual intersection here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, violinist. Hey, basil. You smell all the herbs and spices here. Lemon thyme. So, yeah, there's the American Dental Association's in this building. This is the Anne and Robert Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago. Look how tall it is, like 20 stories tall. And I call that the Women's Hospital. I think they call that the Northwestern Apprentice Women's Hospital. I think that's the name of it. But if I can show you the lobby, if they'll let me walk in here. I know it's always, I don't want to, HIPAA laws, I don't want to film anybody going in and out of a hospital here, but there's an amazing whale. There's a whale sculpture with the calf, and as you go in up the escalator here, it's an amazing spectacle here. Oops, sorry, I must have did that.
You're too close to the side.
No, that's what it is. I'm too close to the side. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Thank you. So, thanks for dealing with that. I crowded too many people there trying to sneak into the. But here's the whales I was telling about when you walk into the Lurie Children's Hospital here. Here's how you get up. There's an interesting second level mezzanine up there that connects across the sky bridges, and they got like aquariums and things like that. I just want to show these whales here, and we'll stay on the. They got a Potbelly sandwich shop down here, and there's another entrance here, and there I want to show those whales there. What a beautiful entry to a children's hospital here, and we can head out the other side, which is what I'll do here. We get up to the revolving door. Let's see if I can work this one better. I crowded the people too much, and that's why it stopped, and we were stuck in it there for a second. Yeah, friendly community. Thanks for finding a friendly community. Thanks for being such a nice group here at the Lunch Bunch. See, here's the drop-off zone for the Lurie Children's Hospital and this nice amenity. Again, this Children's Hospital used to be in Lincoln Park. It used to be up by Lincoln, Fullerton, and Halstead. six-way intersection there. They chose to consolidate. A lot of the hospitals consolidated downtown 10 years ago, 15 years ago. In that period, it wasn't just that hospital. And now this is a heavily congested area of hospitals here in Streeterville, as is over by the Stroger hospitals on the west side there, the Rush Medical Center there. We'll head over to Michigan Avenue. You'll see people in their hospital gowns, scrubs, people that work over here. Amber, you coming to Chicago next week? That's great. Yeah, that's good. Thanks, May. Following me with the other New York live streamers, checking out scenes of the cities here in America. Yeah, you picked some good ones. Thank you. And yeah, here's the American Dental Associations in this building. They got an interesting sculpture. There's that. Yeah, the door's going up. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of the fire truck inside the Engine Company 98 here. There's a working fire station. You see how it's in the same style as the water tower, and we'll get to see all this. This is the fire station here. If I cross the street here, I guess they're opening it up. Oh, there's the fire truck. So here's Chicago Fire Department. Yeah, they're heading in there. They got the Life Squad there. Look at that beautiful building there. They're heading right inside. And there's the fire engine right next to a playground. And then off to the side, they got a memorial there. They're going to close the door there. So we got the pier inside of this bit. See, here's a memorial to Lieutenant Edmund B. Coglianese. Apologize to the family. I'm not saying your family name there right, but thanks for your sacrifice there. And you see how it very similar to the architectural style, that fire station, to the pump house and the water tower here, which we'll head over. Big puddle. Here's the Olympia Center, which you see how there's a curve in the building. That's not an optical illusion. There's a slight curve in this building, which makes it postmodern. Otherwise, it would just be a regular modern building. You got the right idea. Keep walking across to avoid the puddle there. I'm going to do the same thing. Walk on the curve to avoid the puddle here. Yeah, we'll look into it. I guess we could look it up. I don't want to say off the top of my head. It's probably not as old as you think it is, but it probably goes around to the turn of the century. I don't think it's as old as the water tower. It might go back to the 1800s, but I'm not for sure. And I'll look into it and get back to you. There's the, I know the John Hancock with the X's in it was built in 1969, the tall tower there. And then the water tower place was built later. There's the pump house. The pump house, this was built in 1869 along with the Chicago water tower that you see there, 1869, 2 years before the Great Chicago Fire, which that's why they're still here. They survived, even though they were badly damaged. The pump house was damaged during the Great Chicago Fire. They stopped, we lost water pressure. But here we'll head across the street here and we'll check out the Water Tower Chicago. This is Michigan Avenue we're crossing here. There's Water Tower Place. And there's the John Hancock, 100 stories tall. There's observation deck on the 94th floor. We'll film a little bit of the, we got 12:42, so I should have 20 minutes to get back to the office there. Hey, Lorene, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in from Indiana. I just saw your comment. Thanks for being on. I've been scarce for a while because I was down in Texas there. Here, we'll go by and we'll film this butterfly. And we'll film the water tower here. Thanks, Lorene, for being on. Hope you and your family's doing well. Dennis and, yeah, Brandy made a few comments on my TikToks. I appreciate that. Christopher Dodson and Julie. Julie, thanks for saying hello. Look at that. There, you can see how the juxtaposition of the John Hancock with the water tower, with the water tower place tower behind there, and then the Olympia Center. You can get it on the widescreen. Here's the water tower Chicago. You've been here before, 1869. And they use the bottom as museum space. You got the nice fountain here. Here's the Park Hyatt. They built this in 1999. I remember when this was under construction. 70 degrees in the UK. That's not bad. 70 Fahrenheit. Yeah, thanks for converting it to Fahrenheit. We're horrible with our metric system here in America. Isn't it amazing? We talked about this before. Us dummies in America, we still use the old British system, feet and inches. It came from the English king. We bought a Revolutionary War, but we kept the measuring system of the royal measuring, and even England long ago converted smartly to the metric system with the rest of the world. We were supposed to convert in 1986, but no, we still use feet and inches and Fahrenheit and pints and gallons and miles. 5,280 feet. Such a weird distance to measure anything. Can't, at least it's a even number. But here, the Great Water Tower of Chicago here. Yeah, be right back. Mr. O'Leary's Naughty Cow. Yeah, that's the legend. The legend of how the Great Chicago Fire was started. Yeah, they blamed it on Mrs. O'Leary because she had the property, the barn where the cow that supposedly tipped over but they think it was this guy named Peg Leg O'Sullivan that was drunk and was like trying to sleep it off in her barn, and he got away with it. But of course, they blamed it on an Irish woman, which at the time was the despised demographic in the city. and even probably Peg Leg O'Sullivan was Irish too, so maybe there was some truth to it. But pecks and bushels, yeah. All the crazy measurements. Bushels, how many bushels of apples, how many apples in a bushel. It's just a big basket, But thanks, May. Thanks for giving us the British perspective. We need that over here in America sometimes. And secretly, I wish I had a British accent because it automatically makes us sound more intelligent. Even if we're not, it just sounds more intelligent. Queen's English. But here at Tiffany and Company, we just went by Victoria's Secret. We're heading down Michigan Avenue here. We're at Superior, Michigan. We'll just head down Michigan Avenue, lunchtime, see what's cooking here. But we checked out the Lurie Children's Hospital in honor of Ann Lurie, who recently, yesterday, passed away. Sad news. She made it to 79. Such a great philanthropist. Of course, the Lurie Gardens that we walked through there at Millennium Park. Gino's East is over there. Chicago Pizza Joint. We got really close to it. We walked this way yesterday. I took a bus downtown today because the storm. That's how we got that footage of the bean in the storm there. Yeah, Peg Leg O'Sullivan. Pig's Eye. Oh, St. Paul's original name was Pig's Eye. I didn't know that. See, I'll look into that. That's good. It's a good thing they changed the name. You say, I live in Minneapolis, Pig's Eye. Minneapolis, St. Paul. Yeah, see you, Christopher. Hey, thanks everybody. Here we're heading down Huron in Michigan. There's the Nike town. They got a new Converse store. Yeah, let's cross the street. Let's check out this Converse store. And then they got, don't waste your energy. They got that giant, they covered that building with a whole advertisement here. We'll cross Michigan Avenue. We got some wind. So thanks for dealing with the wind. I know it's hard to hear me with the wind, but this is the Windy City and wind's better than rain. There's a look back to the water tower here. Here's the Allerton Tip Top Tap, this hotel here. Right on Michigan Avenue, the Rolex store is here. Oh, it was awesome. I'm glad I caught that. I need to tell Jay. I happened to catch it. I don't usually watch Instagram that much, but I was, I'm trying to post some stuff on Instagram and reruns and stuff. And I saw a post. It's funny, it gave me this post. There was a woman, she has like 13 million followers on Instagram, like a true influencer. She's like probably in her 30s, I'm not for sure. And she visited Chicago, and she was on Oak Street, and she wanted to go into Chanel, and she tried to just open the door and go in, and they said, do you have an appointment? Now all those high-end shops on Oak Street, you need an appointment because of the smash and grabs and the robberies. They don't just want anybody walk in there, just like you can walk into the Converse store here. Here's the mural here for Converse Chicago, right next to Nike Town here. Let's check out the shoes here. But she tried to get to Chanel, you need an appointment only. So she went on her influencer rant about how it's so egregious that she has a credit card. She can't just walk into the Chanel shop like she can do in Rodeo Drive or New York City without having an appointment in Chicago. And Jay, the first comment was Jay, city walking girl, and she just rolled her eyes saying, sigh, like, oh, poor baby, because, you know, Jay, like, I got kicked out of Ralph Lauren. Jay knows, you know, for years, you know, people, Chanel would eye you up and down. If you didn't look like you had money, they wouldn't let you in there anyway. And so she gets to feel how all the rest of us feel all the time. Exclusive stores. I felt like at Ralph Lauren, I wasn't wearing a suit, so they said, kick this guy out, he's not buying anything, and I get it. And I would have kicked myself out too. But that's why I feel conflicted, you know. I like Bravco. I'll promote Bravco. It's a real mom and pop there on our version of Rodeo Drive, Oak Street here in Chicago. But some of the other ones, I joke about Parada. We know some of the security that work there. You know, we don't know them. We just say hi to them, Omar and stuff. Here's the Starbucks, Reserve Road Street, the giant Starbucks here on Michigan Avenue. There's usually a crowd out here. Usually in the mornings when it opens at 8 o'clock, there's always people waiting to get in. Yeah, I kicked myself out. I see you, Marco. I wouldn't want to belong to a club that would have someone like me as a member. The old Groucho Marx joke there. But hey, look at Michigan Avenue there. You can zoom into the crowds here. Look at that. Yeah, it's like we're on 5th Avenue, but this is Michigan Avenue in Chicago. Like Midnight Cowboy. Yeah, your Starbucks. Thanks for tuning in there, Taco. Yeah, just like Pretty Woman. That's exactly it, Chris. I'm glad you got that. Some of the people in the comments, they were like, "What do you think you are, Pretty Woman?" You know, she had the same experience. She went and Rodeo Drive there in the Pretty Woman, and they treated her like crap until they realized she had a billionaire's account, and then they were like, "Oh!" And then she walked into the shop that wouldn't sell anything to her and said, "Look, you missed all these sales." And rubbed it in their faces, which is good, you know. And the interesting about that movie, I think the guy that plays Balky Bartokovich in Perfect Strangers, he's in that movie. He plays in one of the shopkeepers there in Rodeo Drive. Yeah, good to see people. See, all we need is summertime, some nice weather, people cruising up and down Michigan Avenue here. Yeah, I'll have to share a coffee there. Let me know, Julie. And yeah, I'm glad people come to town. You know, I get so busy, and I know everybody wants to meet, and I appreciate that. If I miss you when you're in town, please don't take it personally. But you know, I was able to meet with Pizza Lisa, but and Bob and other people, which is great. I'm glad. But literally, I miss people all the time. I missed James Collins was in town for the Blues Fest. I missed him 2 years in a row. Other people, Carrie's been to Chicago many times, and I miss her. And you know, Julie, if you're in town, we'll try to hook up. But if not, you know, there's a weekend in August. I got to go to Cincinnati for a bachelor party. So I think you understand. We all got our own schedules. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we'll give it a try next time. You know me, I don't try to get locked into schedules. But I appreciate you wanting to meet and stuff, and I appreciate you tuning in here. We feel like we get to know each other here on these platforms. It's great. And yeah, I hung out with Chris and Brandon several times, and our friends there, Eugenie Terrace. It's great. Yeah, Katrina. Carla, you watched it again? Money Talks. Money Talks. It's all about the Benjamins. Yeah, Julie. Yeah, good. Thanks for understanding there. Yeah, we'll try to look you up when you're in town. Thanks for coming to Chicago. Thanks for having a visit there, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Chris, you're pretty busy now. I know Chris, our thoughts go out to your mother there and what she's dealing with. I know you've become the primary caregiver, so thanks for doing that. And hope Maddie's doing fine. You always post nice content with your dog. Thanks for tuning in on the Lunch Bunch. And thanks for all your help moderating. Give you a break. I already told Sarah, well-deserved break. We got it covered. Things have been going well. My moderator team's great. And yeah, just walk around. Yeah, a lot of times I'm easy to find. You know, if you see me walking around downtown, people tune into the live stream. It was so funny. I was up in Wrigley on Sunday to catch that Ryan Sandberg statue, and people ahead of me, behind me, they were watching, and then they got ahead of me. They could see themselves. They could see me filming them from behind as they were walking down the street. It was funny. So it becomes an infinite regress or a mirror. Mikey and Amanda's wedding is on a Friday. Oh, it is? I didn't know that either. Thanks, Serene. See, I'm in that wedding, and I got to come back for the bachelor party, which is in August. Mikey just let me know, and Mikey just got a house too. Him and Amanda. So their wedding's on Friday. Wow. So I'll probably go to my dad's place and be there most of that week, and then I know you guys got stuff going on the following week. I guess the renewing of the vows and all that stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to make that or not, but I think you got a small group anyway, which is fine, you know. And I remember I really was honored I could be in Brandy and Mike's original wedding. What was that, 2012? 2012, can you believe that? Time flies. Yeah, that's good. Hey Chris, yeah, if you ever feel like blocking people, yeah, you're more than welcome. You still got full rights. You still got full mod rights, Chris. So yeah, anytime you feel like bouncing somebody, by all means. That's why it always cracks me up. People are like, oh, my feelings were hurt, I was muted. I'm like, you ever had a 38,000 account deleted and TikTok won't give you a reason why? How do you think you feel after that? You know? And they're always like, well, you know, why won't you let comment? I said, TikTok's not free speech. We all know it's not free speech. They block all kinds of words that you cannot say on TikTok, and then people are like, oh, it's like it's us. It's, you know, they just want to have the freedom to troll is what it is. We're on to them. There, the Tribune. Here's the Tribune Tower. There's the we went by Michael Jordan's restaurant. I didn't even point it out, which is an Intercontinental Hotel. Hey, we're back. We're back at the river here. Yeah. Thanks, the rain. You got the cicadas down there in Indiana. We were in southern Illinois. My father and I, we stopped at the Garden of Gods there, which is a Shawnee National Forest there at the southern Illinois, which is beautiful, that whole area. And we heard the cicadas really well in southern Illinois. Yeah, you could watch that video. It's just the constant background noise. I don't hear them at all here in Chicago, which I know they have them in the suburbs. But for some reason, I've heard them. They were out 2 years ago. We saw cicadas. I don't know what happened to them. There's the Wrigley building. Yeah, who's talking about a vaccine? Yeah, people always bring up in the comments they got some conspiracy agenda or something they want to interject and get people talking about. I always call people want to hijack the conversation and direct it to whatever they want to talk about. Which, you know, what would if you think TV stations or newspapers will let that? No, you control. You know, that's why they got to have moderators too. They don't just allow any comment to go across the TV screen. There's Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable. There's Joliet and Marquette, Native Americans, showing them how to get to the Mississippi River. Here they're working on the bridge here. What are they doing here? Hey, there's a taxi. Hey, we got 1257. We'll get you some views of the Chicago River. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, I didn't know they were having that farmer's market from the MCA. They gave me a flyer. It's every Tuesday. So every Tuesday in Streeterville, they got a farmer's market, and then Thursday at Daily Plaza, which we usually go to that one. There's one in the loop there, so that's nice. You got two options. That guy was nuts. I know. And me, I missed half of that because you guys saw it. Sometimes people will be like trolling me and I don't even notice what's going on, and they'll get blocked before I even see what's going on. But yeah, sometimes they're on YouTube. I do have moderators on YouTube, because I realize that that's even necessary too. But Lunch Bunch, you guys are great. Every once in a while we get a rogue heckler, but it's just the nature of live streaming. It's gonna happen. There, we'll cross Wacker Drive. We got 12:58. I'll actually make it back to work on time. I can't believe it. Look at the crowds crossing here at Wacker, Michigan. There's the London House, the Arena Towers. Bob and I went to the top of that. You've been banned? That's good. See, goes with the territory. You got to push the envelope there, you know. It's like a rite of passage, you know. That's why, yeah, you know, that's what Sarah told me. She says, everybody eventually gets banned on TikTok. I said, yeah, you're right. I run across friends that got, like Darren Moreau. Darren Moreau at 125,000 on TikTok. And now TikTok, they act like they don't know who he is. I'm like, he was like a major Chicago influencer with a huge audience that they just let it go, you know. And you would think that would have value for TikTok as well. It had value for Darren Monroe, and they just took it, you know. And it's not right. He didn't do anything wrong. You have no legal recourse. They can ban you at any time for any reason, even if they don't have a reason. They still have the full right. We have no rights, and this shows you the power of all corporations, that as social media have taken over the role of the media and how people get news in America, we need a Bill of Rights for social media companies, because they have become governments unto themselves. Even Alphabet and Google, they're big enough that they have the power to do economic harm to you. Or if someone's like slandering you, you know, it's just... it's hard. Look at, there's the Citizen M, the Carbide and Carbon building. Yeah. Yeah, the rooftop bar in the London House is nice. Thanks, Amber. Thanks, Taco and Carla, for understanding. Yeah. You know, I know, yeah, I'm a hypocrite because I use these social medias, but you got to fight fire with fire. We do the best we can. This has value, what we have here, the community we're building. People remind me of that. It's what keeps me motivated to go. And as much as I complain, Jay reminds me, hey, what you're complaining about, she deals with it worse than I do, and I know it, you know. And just got to keep on keeping on. Thank you all for being on here, being a live audience. Thanks for being part of the Lunch Bunch. Appreciate it. Thanks, May, for supporting good content and everybody else here. And thanks everybody for being on. I got to go head back to work. Thanks Lorene for being on, my aunt. And appreciate when family tunes in. Mike Overstreet tunes in every once in a while on TikTok. Even Mike, Sarah, and Diana, many times they were like, we're going to ban your cousin because he's going too far. And I'm like, Mike, you got to tone it down. He's I was just joking. I'm like, well, we didn't know you were joking. Put a smiley emoji in there or something so we know what you're talking about, you know. But it's just the nature of social media. But hey, have a great day here. We'll wrap it up here. We'll show you the Wrigley building. Have a good day. Yeah. Thanks, Sharon, Carla, Merck, Julie. Thanks everybody. Marco, Concetta, Carla, Amber, Taco. Yeah, Taco twice. Sharon, everybody. Patricia, Chris. Yeah. Julie Reed. We'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Thanks, May, and everybody else. And we'll talk to you later from Chicago. We'll see you on TikTok tonight. I'll try to get home before the rain. Okay, thanks everybody. Talk to you later.